The Hydra is functional. Okay, but let's first talk about the other stuff. Hey there, I'm Aki, and ever since we've shown off the Silence Leviathan last month, people have asked us about the next devlog. We've decided to no longer upload them monthly, but instead whenever we have enough things we can show off without spoilers, so every video is interesting for you guys. But if you do want weekly updates, check out the Patreon. Obviously in December we've been mostly working on the Silence Leviathan, but last month we've been making good progress on the new Anemone Forest biome. There are several new plants and creature models, like this droop tree you may recognize from the concept art. We've also got void radish as a new food source, and the featherray as one of the new creatures. The best part? Its face. I really like the way this biome is coming along, and I can't wait to see it in the game. For that, we've been making steady progress on Void Editor, the program we made to add new terrain to Subnautica. We even introduced a new temporary member to the team specifically for working on Void Editor, Esper. She's been working on getting the program to be ready for our artists to start creating new islands in the Void, and by the time the next devlog comes out, we'll hopefully have that done. No promises though, stuff tends to not go the way we want. In the meantime, our composers have been crafting some awesome music, like the one you're currently listening to, which is the Anemone Forest track. Another new creature this month is the creature made for one of our architect tier patrons, the Pleuaragrade. I have no idea how to pronounce that. The Pleuaragrade? Pleuaragrade? Something like that. In case you don't know, anyone subscribed to that tier gets a custom creature added to Call of the Void, and this little guy was their design. It will paddle along and eventually sit down to eat. After it's done, it will produce a sort of slime ball, which will be a resource you can use. But we have not thought of a use for that yet, so that part is not implemented just yet. I do have to say though, I love this little guy. He's really cute, so I really want to make sure he's actually useful so people get to experience this little guy and maybe follow him around to see when he goes to eat and collect some slime balls off of him. I do have to say, the animations and modeling were kind of tricky, especially with this mouth, but thanks to our amazing concept artists, we actually had some really good references. I'm currently considering making him a tiny bit more slimy maybe, to give him that more like tardigrade look, but I still am very happy with the final product. However, we have been working on a new Leviathan. And this one you might recognize. It's this one, from a concept art from Rebecca L. Sheikh. I think that's how you pronounce it. But we don't have a final name for it yet. Internally, we've just been calling it the Chunka Leviathan, but that might be a little weird for Subnautica, so if you have any ideas, let us know in the comments or on my Discord server, which is in the description. This goes for everything in this expansion or mod, by the way. Any ideas, suggestions or questions you have, you can ask or tell us on my server. Make sure to read the frequently asked questions though, so we don't have to repeat everything. But now, what you all have been waiting for, the Hydra Submarine. We are still working on the model since we've decided to make a few modifications to it. Here's the concept art of what it will look like once it's done. You'll learn more about what's up with that front once you get to play around with it. But we've also decided to change the way the entrances look, since people kept mistaking them for giant power cells. Hopefully this new design is more clear. Of course, the model isn't everything, and we've also been working on sound effects and voice lines. So here's what the Hydra will sound like.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Hydra online. Anomaly detected. Caution. Hull integrity low.
There are also still some rendering issues with it in-game, but we've been mainly focusing on getting the movement to feel right. And that's really important. We've decided to use a new way of piloting, not like the Seamoth or the Cyclops, but a little bit of both. Similar to games like Star Citizen, you control a tether on the center of your screen that the submarine will rotate towards. To stop rotating, move the mouse back to the center. You can imagine it's handling similar to a fighter jet, just reversed, since the Hydra's wings are on the top and bottom instead. You turn slower up and down than left to right, but you can rotate the Hydra to change that direction and speed. That should make for a really fun submarine that you can go around and zoom through caves with, and hopefully even get into some spots other submarines wouldn't be able to get you. We're also experimenting with making the normal mode for the Hydra work like the Cyclops, but you being able to toggle an agility mode, which enables all of these controls I just described for people who want to get the most out of the Hydra and are willing to take some more complicated controls for it. To press the buttons around your screen, you can use your number keys or hold right click to move your camera without rotating the submarine. We are also currently in the planning stage for the UI that you actually see when piloting, and this is a very rough layout made by me, so it's probably not gonna look good for what we would want it to look like. In the center, you can see what we're currently planning the sonar to look like, and if you turn it off, it would look like this. Of course, these controls aren't final and we might change them, but that's what we're currently going for. But right now, I think the turning and rotation of your submarine is a little too slow, so we'll probably speed that up. And of course, there will also be a ton of upgrades for you to add to your submarine to make it even faster and more reactive. Talking about upgrades, we've also been working on a UI for the skill tree. Now, I don't want to show too much because it's pretty cool, but here's a little teaser for that. The skill tree isn't functional yet, but we're hoping to get that done next month. We're also hoping to maybe start work on testing out what we can do with base pieces next month to hopefully be able to implement a Hydra dock that's actually really cool to play around with, something like the Sea Truck dock from Below Zero, and of course seeing if we can actually get the base destruction to work. It is not complete yet, but it already feels amazing, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Of course, there's a lot of work behind the scenes with stuff we can't share or don't want to because it would be massive spoilers, but I hope you guys enjoyed this devlog. If there are any questions you think might be worth of a deep dive, make sure to let me know in the comments. I'm always looking forward to making new videos explaining Call of the Void. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out the Patreon to support the team. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye!